Well, the Oklahoma City Thunder, to no one's surprise, have moved one final step away from validating one of the great advanced rated regular seasons of all time. Something that should also have come to no one's surprise, as they gentlemen sweep a pretty impressive team in their own right out of the playoffs in the Minnesota Timberwolves. For a second straight conference finals, that is a gentleman sweep for those Timberwolves. And now, as it is off to the Bahamas or Cancun or wherever for them, the Oklahoma City Thunder, well, they're off to bigger and better things. That, though, again, should come as little surprise to anyone. A team that was rated second league-wide a year ago, second to the eventual champion Boston Celtics, took that all-important maturation step this season, just letting their very young core mature for one more year, while significantly upgrading their overall depth in the offseason via the old free agent market with marquee acquisitions of Alex Caruso and Isaiah Hartenstein. The result was a leap from the second-best team in the league a year ago to the best team in the NBA this season, and by a significant margin. They weren't simply, though, the best team this year. By a handful of fairly impactful metrics, by the way, the Thunder just laid down arguably the greatest regular season in NBA history. Firstly, there is their win total of 68 games, making them one of only 7 teams in league history to reach at least that amount. Then there is the total net differential, meaning the average margin of wins per all 82 games this season, which stood at a staggering 12.87. shattering the previous record by over half of a point per game held by the 1971-72 LA Lakers, the championship team of Jerry West, Will Chamberlain, and Gail Goodrich, a team that still holds the all-time NBA record for most consecutive wins in a single season of 33. The remainder of the top 5 teams that this year's OKC team easily surpassed are the 1970-71 Bucks, a team who, again, easily won a championship that year, featuring a top 2 team-up of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Oscar Robertson. In the 4th spot now on this list, the 72-win 1995-96 Chicago Bulls, and then rounding out the top 5, the 2016-2017 Golden State Warriors. That would be the first year of the KD-Steph pairing. And those are the teams that the Thunder surpassed in their regular season run this year. Then, of course, there is the SRS, or Simple Rating System, which factors in not merely the margin of differential, but also the strength of schedule of their opponents. The Thunder's preposterous 12.71 this season was nearly a 4 full points higher than the next best team in the league this year, while it was, again, the best mark in all of NBA history, surpassing the 95-96 Bulls in that metric. Of course, though, the slogan that famed Michael Jordan team popularized heading into their playoffs that year, "It don't mean a thing if you don't get that ring," well, that sentiment also is applicable to these Thunder. And they got tested by a significantly outgunned Denver Nuggets team who, speaking of the aforementioned SRS, Denver had the 8th best SRS in the league this season. A loss there would have been an epic, all-time choke job for the ages by the Oklahoma City Thunder, but they cleared that hurdle and blew Denver out in Game 7. Realistically, they haven't been challenged the entire postseason otherwise, winning their other 2 series now 4-0 and 4-1, and now en route to the NBA Finals, where they figure to be massive and overwhelming favorites against whoever gets out there. Likely, the Thunder will be double-digit favorites in every single game of that round. And look, while you never take anything for granted, and barring some kind of massive and substantial injuries to this team, though, the Thunder will be taking their first step towards what is a dynastic hold on the NBA. as this team has every single player in their current rotation under contract already for next year, and many of their core are contractually obligated for several years to come. A unit of players that included 6 guys rated in the top 70 league-wide, and that doesn't even include Chet Holmgren, who didn't play in enough games this year to be qualifiable to be ranked. And every player in their core, principal top 10, are all 26 years of age or younger, outside of Alex Caruso, who is still only 31. In other words, good luck, rest of the NBA. But hey, look on the bright side. At least this team doesn't have an absolute preposterous amount of draft capital stockpiled as well. Oh, because of course they do. Setting to have control of as many as 16 first-round picks over the next 6 years. Barring some substantial league-altering super trade revolving around Giannis Antetokounmpo to some already existing strong team or other quality superstar, there is close to no hope for the remainder of the league to compete with this monster built by Sam Presti, long regarded as one of the best in the business, but who has had that elusive title escape him in the past. But now, this team is on the doorstep of immortality, at least from a single-season standpoint. 1 series, 4 wins away from etching its name on the pantheon of great single-season teams. But of course, as they are helmed by the freshly coronated league MVP Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and last year's Coach of the Year Mark Daigneault, this team has a lot more lofty expectations than just a great single-season team. To do that, though, they will need a lot more than just one of these. But it looks like this team is poised to do just that. They will await their opponent in the finals, likely to be the Pacers, who hold a 3-1 lead of their own on the east side of this bracket. The NBA Finals begin on June 5th. And to stay up to date with that series and all things NBA playoffs, please make sure you are subscribed with those notifications turned on to stay up to date with more from me. Until next time, guys.